Hi, hello, and welcome to another brand spanking new episode of another Below Deck podcast. Dylan, Pat.
Permission to come aboard.
Granted. Okay. God, poo episode.
You didn't like it?
Kind of a poo episode. I think kind of honestly for me. But before we get anywhere near there.
To our thoughts and knots.
Yeah. Big announcement. Go to patreon.com/another podcast network. We're going to be taking requests for the new Patreon show. Summer House is coming to an end. So go to patreon.com/another podcast network. Let your voice be heard. Which season of The Traders would you like us to cover at patreon.com/another podcast network? That will be exclusive to Patreon. Fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Also, just at the top of the show, we are sponsored this episode by a lovely company called KOALA.
Yeah, that's just amazing.
We'll get to them later.
Yeah. Okay, so iTunes ratings and reviews, 5 stars, kind words. Really, really amazing stuff from you guys. We're so grateful for the reviews. Keep them coming. We'll
Not that lunatic that said that since we combine the feeds, they're confused about the content.
No, not that.
That person's an idiot.
No, not that person, but we've had some really nice stuff, so we'll read them at the end of the episode. Pat, let's get into thoughts and nuts.
Well, I was going to say other things. If you didn't catch it, we interviewed Brianna from this season, and I know this is going to break a lot of hearts. Her and Harry are no longer together, which she told on the episode. I think that's out there. But a great interview, and she answered all the questions you might have for her about this season. Check it out.
I can't stop eating these things.
Someone said those aren't mints. Those are something else. Those are for colds.
I know. It's like really bad. I keep eating these things, and like I looked it up last night, and it's like really bad for you.
Does it quell your nicotine urges?
1,000,000%.
Yeah, that's probably why you're taking them.
Yeah. But let us know. Get in the comments if you've had Fisherman's Friend before. They're menthol cough suppressant oral anesthetics.
You try to get me to take them.
I shouldn't be eating a bunch of these a day. Like, that's crazy, right?
Look, I shouldn't be drinking 6 White Claws either, but what are you going to do?
You don't drink 6 White Claws.
No. Maybe. Occasionally. Every day.
All right, let's get into it. Thoughts, pots. I thought it was poopy. I'm going to give it no pots.
Okay.
Yeah.
So every season there's definitely 2 people that are going at it with each other. This season is no different than that. It's clearly Lara and Tsarina.
Lara.
And somehow Alicia has gotten pulled into this.
Yeah,
goddamn crew mess. It's a real point of contention.
Yeah.
Which is lunacy.
Yeah.
One thing that I gleaned from this episode is just how thin-skinned Captain Hot Pants Jason is.
Yeah.
The very fact that it wasn't suffice to just confront Lara about that promotion that wasn't passed by him, but the very fact that he had to bring it up at the tip meet. Real thin-skinned there, Captain Jason.
Yeah. No, this is like, we've referenced it before, but the biblical story of King Solomon mediating the 2 women, kind of clawing after a baby. You know what women do. You know what I'm talking about.
But in this case, we're talking about a man.
We're talking about a crew mess. We're talking about a fucking crew mess, okay? This gets brought up. I mean, we have chirons for steps. We have chirons for times and days that don't matter.
They let go of that chiron for steps.
Yeah. It was like, they called a meeting at Bravo Production. They were like, guys,
it's not testing well.
I'm sorry to say. And then they hit the space bar and Tap started playing. Like, cause similarly to what we do when you talk about somebody who's dead. Yeah. And they were like, it's not, people aren't responding to it well. We really haven't seen any tweets about it. So we're going to have to retire the step chiron. But we should have a chiron for how many times this fucking crew mess has gotten brought up. Because, I mean, what are we at now? 9 in 2 episodes? 10 maybe?
Yeah. It's a real power struggle because it's not about the crew mess at all.
No.
It's about who is, in fact, in power.
Yeah. And I think that's why Lara gets so upset at the end of this episode because despite her best efforts to dominate this boat, above all, even Captain Jason. She's receiving some serious pushback, and she's having a bit of anxiety over that. I think the next job, we got to come back down to earth.
I think so.
Yeah.
The other interesting part of this episode was the fact, and I don't think we've ever seen it on any season in the past, is 2 females are simultaneously getting the ick. I don't know if it was that storm that washed in. Both Bree and Alicia are kind of dealing with feelings that the guys that they've chosen to be with are in fact annoying and disgusting.
Well, they're
underwhelming.
There are a lot of there's a lot of juju in the Seychelles, so maybe that could be it. Or maybe they could just be completely fucking turned off by these two. Because Harry and Nate do have a common thread in that they are I don't know, they are to women kind of what the that product that guy was hawking on the telephone TV combo thing kind of for a while, where it was that rag, and he got into a lot of trouble for prostitution and stuff like that.
Oh, he was selling a rag?
Yeah,
did it wax cars well or something?
Yeah, it kind of like sopped up everything. You know what I'm talking about? That big
Ron Popeil?
Is it Ron Popeil?
Well, he was famous for the food dehydrator.
No, I don't think it was the food. You know
Floby?
what?
Floby was good.
It might have been Floby. This is the same man that did the slap chop.
Slap chop.
Yeah.
Familiar.
Yeah. He would go, "You want to make a salsa? Look at this. You made a salsa." And then he went on to get in a lot of trouble.
He did. Remind me where this came from?
So Nate and Harry are kind of like that, but 2 vaginas. Yeah, it's the golden doodle energy. It's the kind of friendship energy. You can have that, but you've also got to have a little bite. You know what I mean?
Well, for Harry's sake, I'm not speaking of Nate and Elise's relationship, but the great Tom Likas would have informed Harry.
Oh, absolutely.
Son, you need to treat her like mud. She's walking all over you, dear.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Treat them like mud. They stick. They treat them like dirt. They stick like mud.
And to Tom Likas, you would say, "She's not really walking all over me. We're just friendly with one another." And he goes, "That's where you've lost, son. Mm-hmm. You don't see it as a loss."
The very fact that they've only known each other this short a time and they are discussing traveling around the world with each other, I may have reservations too. But if you listen to our interview, you'll see if they actually did.
No reservations. Remember that story I told you about Anthony Bourdain the other day?
What was it?
Do you remember?
Remind me.
No. All right, so we pick up with things at the boardwalk. Everybody's really ripping it up except for one.
Poopy Pants Tsarina.
Poopy Pants.
It's a real bummer to watch.
Uh-huh. Big time.
She's not feeling her best. But Dill, there was a good moment in this part of the show.
Uh-huh.
Because we got to see sea rats in their own environment, and we got to learn how they, in fact, mate. Okay? Sometimes we just see them hooking up in the jacuzzi, and you're like, where did we go? How did we get here? And we actually see the breakdown. This was Nate and Alicia I'm referring to. First, they cozy up to one another. The next thing they do is they
Can you do it like David Attenborough?
What's he sound like?
Oh, he's a British guy.
Oh, he is. Okay. First, they cozy up to one another. Next, they bond over something completely insignificant, like the color orange.
Right.
Then the male sea rat usually states he won't hurt you.
Right.
Which is a lie.
It is
he
a
eventually
lie.
will.
Yeah.
And then they smooch.
Right.
And then Alicia announces, "Fuck it. I'm going with it." Which is less of a slogan and more of a way of life for a sea rat.
A credo of the sea rat.
In my next life, I want to be a sea rat.
I think
a panda.
I think Pat, I don't think the gods would ever put you in a panda's body. There's just not enough to do. If you were a panda, you'd be a sad panda.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
Sitting on a tree all day, eating, I don't know, the tree.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good life to me.
I know, but I think there's just too much R&R. I mean, you've said horrific things about the panda before,
right?
Because you have a loathing of their lack of work ethic. It's
true.
So, anyways, but I think you want to be a sea rat now, and listen, there's nothing wrong with that. Would Shuri be open to it? It's a 3-month vacation.
I'll have to ask her.
Okay. So Captain Jason's doing some kind of silly exercise I've never seen, and Alicia and Nate do hook up. They have golden doodle energy with each other, and this is a little bit of a Christopher Guest couple. You'd see them kind of in the hallways of the local talent show auditions being candidly interviewed. It's not going to work out. Tsarina is quite a shitbag, though. She's really going through it. She says, I'm going to eat pizza in my bed and cry. I mean, she's down.
Well, that's what happens when you're not going home happy after a night at the bar. You just stuff your fucking pie hole filled with carbs.
Yeah. It's a real good catch-all for any yucky feelings. You know what I mean? It will later kind of amplify said feelings. Yeah. But in the moment, it's great. Now we get back to the boat, and Alicia mentions that she is torn between Johnny and Nate. Any thoughts on that, Patrick?
No.
No, you don't have any thoughts on that?
No. Can I do a bunch of meanwhiles?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Meanwhile, Tsarina and Lara still aren't talking. Nate tells the guys he and Elisa really cut it up on the dance floor. Mm-hmm. Nick and Marina kiss on the deck, and Harry and Bree agree to travel around the world with each other. Mm-hmm. But Bree won't do hostels, which I'm assuming she wouldn't do van life either.
Yeah. Hostels. Are there hostels in America? Like, I'm sure. Yeah, there
Hollywood.
are, right?
Mm-hmm. Hollywood.
And hostels just like a motel, but bad?
It's not a hotel. It's a room like this with bunk beds in it.
Yeah.
You just rent the bunk bed and you have a locker. And they can be as cheap as like $10 a day.
Yeah, and then like if it goes real bad, like you fall through some kind of trap door and then you're in like a Robert Rodriguez movie or something.
Well, next thing you know, you got some crazy Ukrainian trying to cut your head off with a chainsaw.
Yeah, that's why I won't go to them. I mean, that movie scared the heck out of me. There's
been a couple of them.
I mean, holy cow. So Nick is a pretty big nerd, and we get a little C-Red history with Marina.
Well, kind of, Dill. Kind of. This is Marina. She shares with us that she's afraid to give her heart away because that's what her mother did with her dad. And you're not going to believe this, but her dad took off. Tale as old as time.
Yeah.
We know your dad took off because you're working on this boat.
Marina, it's like, let's say you're in polite society, right? You see somebody with some kind of ghastly wound on their face.
Maybe she doesn't have a leg.
Doesn't have a leg, right?
I always get weird about that.
Yeah, yeah. And what do you mean by I always get weird about that?
Like,
Yeah. Yeah. That is weird. That's fucking weird. How was the night? I was fine. I met a guy. There was a guy at the party. He screamed when he saw me. Made me feel, if I'm being honest, pretty horrible about myself. But yeah, if you're talking to somebody who doesn't have a leg, there's no point in the person that doesn't have a leg to go, I don't have a leg. Like we know.
We know.
Right? You're on the boat.
You're on the boat. We know why you're here.
God damn, man. It's heartbreaking stuff. So we wake the next day. Nate and Alicia are chatting about having a little wine, I think.
Some cheese.
And we get to, did we pass over Smoochies?
No, that's coming.
So we then must get to our first with the Nate dog. It is time for the preference sheet meeting
/ HR department.
Charter 8, one-day charter. Matt Rosenberg. Coincidentally, same name as the new pope.
Really? Rosenberg. Nice.
Yeah. Villanova grad Matt Rosenberg from Chicago is the new pope.
Wow, that's exciting stuff.
Yeah, I know it is. Did you pay attention to the conclave?
I don't watch the news.
Okay, so they're going to go scuba, and Tsarina and Lara are still not speaking to one another, and Laura's a little pissed off still about all of the fakeness Now, we do get a chat between the two of them. Laura mentions that Tsarina had lied about what time she showed up, and overall, this does not go well. And when you're dealing with two,
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
When you really want to settle something with someone, you have to eat a little crow. You're not going to get what you want. A good settlement or an agreement of two
dissatisfied customers
is you're probably going to leave going, you know what? We mended fences, but I didn't get what I wanted. You got to be prepared to walk away that way.
Yeah, so I don't think Tsarina is quite as bad as Laura in that I think Laura is emotionally manipulative. I think Tsarina is, I don't know.
You don't think she is either?
I think that she is unconsciously, I think she's very mean to Laura at times. And I think it was very childish for both of them to do this, but what about my apology thing? The difference between Laura and Tsarina is that Tsarina doesn't go to quite the same lengths that Laura does. Laura said over and over again, had this reprieve that Tsarina is not focusing on work issues. She's taking personal attacks. Mm-hmm. It just completely not true. I mean, she made up that thing about you not showing up on time, but when Tsarina mentions that she's trying to take her sous chef away from her, Laura conflates that into a thing that Laura doesn't believe, right? She just says you're attacking me on personal grounds. No, she's not. She's talking about you interfering with her work environment.
Also, let's talk about what Laura's real issue here, which it's not really the issue. It's about power.
Yeah.
That crew mess, the second time that they tell you to fuck off, let it go.
Let it go. Let it go. It's a bizarre, it is. She wants to be the head person in charge, and Tsarina's not letting it happen, and it is causing a nuclear winter aboard this boat for no reason. So it doesn't go well. She gets up and says we're only going to speak to one another about work moving forward.
That doesn't work either. Although it may, because there's only one charter left after this.
Maybe.
All right. Now, Dill, this is something that most people might gloss over, but this is where we see Captain Jason in his quarters, and he's turned into an aquarium decor creator.
Yeah.
I think he thinks that disco helmet is one of his things.
Yeah.
And what he doesn't know, but he should know because he scuba dives and he understands the things that can kill the fish life are things that aren't supposed to be in the water, like stickers. It's just a matter of time before those stickers that he put on that little fake helmet start to break down, eventually poison the water, and kill all the fish in that tank.
Yeah. I mean, or, let's say one of them kind of rips off. Fish swallows it. Oblong angle. Bad angle. Starts to do serious internal damage to the little fishies. It's a bad move. Mm-hmm. It's a bad move.
I one time had a client say, hey, I want to put this, it's Christmas time. I'm throwing a party. I want to throw this Santa thing in the tank. I said, well, you just buy those things at aquarium stores. They're made of, you just can't put anything in there. They said, well, I want to do it anyway. Well, it was painted with some kind of acrylic paint. It took about 4 hours before it completely dyed the tank red and all the fish were dead. Called me and said, hey, all the fish are dead. And I said, I know, you idiot.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Wow. What a horrifying story. Mm-hmm. The red tank, the dead fish, it being a Christmas occasion.
On Christmas.
The whole thing is so dark. That's like an A24 film, the story that you just told.
People don't listen.
You know what they should listen to?
Tell me.
What we have to say about KOALA. All right, there are a lot of awesome things that have come out of Australia. We've named so many, okay? Uggs. I'm pretty sure eggplant came out of Australia.
Crocodile Dundee.
Crocodile.
There's a couple beers, too. They make a good lager.
Oh, yeah, Foster's. Yeah.
A lot of good reality TV.
Boomerangs! Lots of great stuff have come out of.
But now.
Yeah. I would say the best is the KOALA sofa bed, okay? It's now available in the U.S., and it hasn't been available in the U.S., okay? This is like one of these supreme drops that people are kind of freaking out about. You know what I mean? You seen these people wrapped around the block?
Oh, yeah.
It's for the KOALA sofa bed.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's seriously comfortable. KOALA makes the most comfortable mattresses and sofa beds. You can actually use their mattress technology inside, okay? This isn't one of those day beds that you throw up and people are like, oh, this is great. I would never sit on this. No, not only will you sit on this, you will sleep on it, okay? No uncomfortable metal frame. Unlike traditional sofa beds, KOALAs are designed for pure comfort. You know, they're built like... who are those people that don't use electricity and they get run over by cars
The
on the road?
Amish.
Yeah, they're built like Amish furniture, you know?
Wow, that's real artisan stuff. You know,
Real artisan stuff.
I want to say this, and I don't think you've pointed this out yet, but this is the real selling point. They can fit in very small rooms.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day when I first moved to Los Angeles, I lived with 6 people in a 2-bedroom apartment. These 2 guys, both named Nick, they would bring home girls all the time. So I had said at one point that I wanted to move in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And I would have been able to fit one of these beds in there.
Yeah.
God, I wish this was around then because I would have moved into the bathroom.
Yeah, I mean, KOALA's just looking out for everybody, right? If you want to put your bed next to the toilet, you can do that. But also, if you just want to be a sane person and not have particulates from feces land on your bed all the time, and you just want it in like a normal room,
You can do that as well.
you can do that. There's a 120-night risk-free trial, nearly 4 months to make sure that it's a perfect fit for your home. Upgrade your space with the most stylish, customizable, and elevated sofa bed available to get $100 off your new sofa plus fast shipping. Go to U.S. Koala. Yeah, let me say this. It's U.S. KOALA. It's you. If you were to abbreviate US, you would put the 2 dots, right?
I think so.
U.S.koala.com/badtv. That's us.koala.com/badtv to get $100 off your new sofa. KOALA, comfy, easy, and sustainable.
I want to tell our Aussie audience as well. Help us out. If you haven't bought from one of our sponsors, this is your in.
Come on, man. Do it. All right, a lot of meanwhiles. Marina did great. The fish have a helmet now, yes. Alexia and Nate have a date and a little kissy while the other sea rats watch on. They head back down, and the gang says, we got you. And Nate makes a vital error, and evidently he calls the kisses smoochies.
Oh, yes.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
What is the problem with smoochies?
There are certain words that trigger people that mean they're old and gross. I can give you one of those words. I worked with a songwriter who kept putting the word lover in the lyrics. And it creeped me out to the point where I had to ask him at some point, can we exchange the word lover for girl? He said no. But it weirded me out. I got the ick, and that's what's happening here.
Smoochies is not one of those words for you, though, right?
No, it's kind of jokey. I mean,
I love smoochies.
Well,
Alicia doesn't.
no, she could sand a wooden canoe with her vagina. That's how dry it is.
Yikes. That's pretty dry.
You bet. Now, Del, you glossed over here. Nate gives a little sea rat history, but more mystery than history. He met a girl on a plane. I think she was from Texas.
Yeah.
She moved to Australia, and he lived through the chaos. Call me crazy, but I think this story is intentionally vague.
Yeah. So what do we think probably happened there? Probably she's in multiple bags in the Pacific Ocean or
No,
Gulf
she
of
ran
America?
off with a kangaroo.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, something like that. Or
Hey, that's a tough situation. Okay. You bet.
crazier things have happened.
Crazier things have
You know,
happened.
why don't we have kangaroos in zoos here?
I don't know how you go to zoos as often as you do.
Well, it helps that one is 10 minutes from here.
The kids. It's for
That's
the kids.
right.
Does it not bum you out, though?
they're pretty well taken care of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. They're moving elephants out. They're moving them back to like Africa or something. There was a big thing with that. They're voting on that this week. I think 2 of them are leaving because they don't think there's enough space. I mean, they're only living on an acre.
That's not a lot of space for an elephant.
I think they're pissed off because they always hide in an area where no one can see them. I've gone to the zoo 42 times this year. I've seen them twice.
Yeah.
They're like, where's Waldo? But they're gigantic.
But they're gigantic. You know, the elephants are very, very, you know, they're tricksters. You know, they know what's going on.
Yes, they do.
They're staging a protest. Next day, we're going to stick with the same setup, but have an award to give out in the interior. Marina will be receiving the much sought after second stew epaulets. Okay.
It's quite an honor.
Does this unseat Big Red?
No, it doesn't.
She's first stew.
I think so. Yes. It does not unseat her. Yeah. She can have one too.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's
in the comments. I don't know if we're right on that. I think
she was wearing the epaulets. I looked for it.
I thought hers just had one though.
Oh. Marina's or Bree's had one.
Bree's.
Huh. I'll have to go back and look. I thought I had 2. I could be wrong. Bree, let us know.
Bree, let us know. All right.
All right. Well, this is when Marina gives an Oscar speech for the award. And she says, I'd like to thank the Academy. I'd like to thank my mom.
Harvey.
I'd like to thank Harvey. I'd like to thank my dad. Oops, I think he moved to Florida and started.
I meant Harvey.
Family.
Yeah.
You can. But I was thinking when she wouldn't thank her dad, I was like, no, you can still thank him because that's why you're here.
Yeah, I mean, he taught you a lot of lessons, you know, how to guard your heart, how to have an unhealthy distrust of every man you meet, to throw away any and all aspirations you had on land for a life at sea. You know, these are invaluable things. Thanks, Dad.
Thanks,
and
Dad.
Thank you, Harvey. So, the charter guest arrived. Matt is a personal injury attorney. I don't want to judge, but this is a profession with a lot of slime in it.
Absolutely.
A lot of slime in it. Pat, how do people how do people slime ball out in personal injury attorney or law?
Oh, well, you just drive in this city because there's billboards every street. Hey, did you fall down while you were drunk at the grocery store? I can get you paid.
Right.
Because it's their fault and you're owed money.
Right. So really it is like you walk into, if you're in Los Angeles, take a half an hour drive literally anywhere, okay? You'll have 5 different legal offices you can go to. They'll be in the skies. Go to a Whole Foods, pick up a can of Diet Coke or whatever stevia bullshit they have, hit yourself in the head with it, and fall on the ground, okay? You will get, I think, $1 billion.
I need to be compensated for that.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, aren't people busy with stuff? What are you doing? My goodness. We've talked about it before. I get the hot coffee thing at McDonald's, but I mean.
Well, the coffee melted that poor woman's legs to the seat.
Right. And we also talked to that guy at Starbucks just got all that money because his nuts turned into, I don't know, some kind of like underwater sand that Nickelodeon advertised. I mean, it was really grisly stuff. So, they're having a fun time. They're all giggles. We've got some fruit and charcuterie and caviar, and we're really doing a little bit of a vacation here, I think.
Now, we D-Dog, which goes off without a hitch still.
Yeah.
And that's when I think Harry gets over himself a little bit. He goes up to Captain Hot Pants and he says, hey, I'm ready to bring the ship in.
Yeah.
And that's when Hot Captain says, that's going to take a little longer because it's dangerous. You could smash the boat into a dock at 40 knots.
Yeah. Harry, let me tell you something. If you're not careful, you can leave the thrusters on and you can barrel into a marina. Turn people eating fucking chowder and bread bowls into like fucking sand. They advertise on Nickelodeon, you know. I mean,
the families
really
couldn't even
God, no.
You can identify the body.
Yeah, you want to talk about open or closed? Let's go closed, okay? And Harry's like, okay.
There's like one finger in the casket.
Yeah.
That's all we found.
So we drop anchor. Can I say real quick, anchors are wild. Anchors are really kind of crazy to me. I mean, they're so dense and big enough that they can like that boat doesn't go anywhere.
Nope.
I mean, that is cool.
It can, if the winds are strong enough, it can actually pull the boat out.
Yeah. Drag and anchor and stuff like that. All right. So Laura and Alicia are back on this fucking crew mess thing. Actually, no. Laura is back on this fucking crew mess thing. She goes up to Jason about this.
Oh, yes.
This is how. I mean, this is a big stick in her craw. And I don't even know what that expression is. Is that a stick in my... What is
Stick
it?
in craw.
What?
Stick in my craw.
Stick in my craw. What's a craw?
No clue.
Is it a butt?
You're asking the wrong guy.
Okay, well, you go ahead. I'm going to look it up.
Oh, okay. Well, so yes, the crew mess gate swells up again, and that's when Lara asks Alicia to clean the tables after lunch. Alicia agrees, but doesn't like that she's being pulled into a quote-unquote vulva swinging contest.
What? Wait. Sorry. Oh, okay.
A lot of near misses with the vulvas because they don't have a lot of reach.
All right, I want to go back to this, but the craw is it's like a beak. Oh no! It's the stomach of a person or animal.
Oh.
Late Middle English.
Gets stuck in your body. Like
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those out there. That
Related to the Middle Dutch Kranje or Middle Low German Krage. Germans gotta soften that language up a little bit. Krage. Anyways, what were you saying about vulvas?
Oh, she said it's a vulva swinging contest.
Who said that?
I think Alicia did.
No.
What did she say?
I don't think she said that.
She might have said dick swinging.
That makes more sense. You can't really swing a vulva.
No,
And,
like I said, it doesn't extend out enough to hit. A lot of misses.
yeah, a lot of misses. And, I mean, that kind of genitalia is you know what? Let's not.
Okay.
Let's not.
All right.
I love Alicia. She says, when you're quiet, do you think about things? Because it's amazing. When I'm quiet, I don't think about anything.
Yeah.
Tsarina's like, yeah, well, you're not the only one speaking to me right now. There's 15 people in this galley.
Including
One guy
the
doesn't have
walls.
a head. Yeah. So we get a little bit of conflict brewing. Alicia is allowed to go swimming instead of cleaning the crew mess.
Yeah, now, this is where I say, Dylan, Tsarina can be emotionally manipulative as well.
We scuba and then we get ready to swim.
Now, one note about this scuba diving thing. Captain Jason goes out of his way to say that these waters are, in fact, gorgeous because they're protected.
Yeah.
Except for the fact that multiple large yachts are hovering above them and then selling tickets for people to go down and visit them and touch them.
No, it's pristine wildlife.
Ah, yes. Okay.
That's really, really amazing stuff. Now, Adair's weird. You know that Adair's weird, right? Mm-hmm. She says, my sister had a hamster named Meatloaf or a hamster's friend named Meatloaf or something. Yeah. And then we swim, and Laura sees Alicia hamster wheeling and not cleaning the crew mess. Now, we really ramp this fucking crew mess thing up. Laura heads down and starts the fight for the second time today. If I was Tsarina, I would completely fucking embargo this, and I would say do not do literally anything that Laura tells you to do. Just tell her to fuck off.
If you do that, then she can go up and really get you with Captain Jason.
No, she can't. Captain Jason brings me up. I go, she's trying to tell her to do interior stuff constantly. I told her to not do it and that she belongs to the kitchen. And then that would be the end of it. And you would win.
Did the correct thing, which is fucking fine. I'll do it. To which Laura responds, no, don't bother. Then why bring it up?
I don't think that's the right course of action. You cannot cede any ground to Laura. She must be destroyed. Okay, what happens next?
Let's see. The guests return. They do water toys. Storm arrives. And then Marina simultaneously is starting to get a little bummed at Nick because he didn't acknowledge that note.
Yeah, he didn't acknowledge that note.
And then we hit dinner, and there's some puka shell judgment.
Yeah. Did you ever do a puka?
Nope.
I did.
Never did limbo either. Or what is that called? Limbo?
Yeah, limbo. Oh, my God. If I tried to do a limbo, I think I would go to the emergency room. Don't you think?
Maybe. I've never done it. I used to watch when I was a little kid. They used to have it. It seemed like it was a trope in 80s television, mostly on another boat on TV, The Love Boat.
Yeah.
Very problematic show.
What was problematic about it?
Well, they had
They have a little person on there?
No. On Love Boat, they had a doctor who was good buddies with one of the mates, like the main cast members.
Yeah.
And as the hot girls would show up on the boat, they'd both be joking about drugging them and having sex with them.
Oh, that's creepy. What was the show where there was the little person? He was from France, and he went, the plane.
Oh, Fantasy Island. That was after the Love Boat on
Island.
Saturday nights.
Okay,
Oh, great programming back in the day.
And what was his name again?
Tattoo. Boss, they played. Yeah, real sad ending to his life. He shot himself in a house in Van Nuys.
Yeah.
At one point, he'd owned a horse ranch up in Thousand Oaks.
Yeah, because suicide is always sad, but location, right?
Yeah, definitely. How we look at you.
You know,
Oof, you live there, huh?
I mean,
yeah.
if you
He
have
had a roommate?
if you have a palatial, farm in Montana or something, and it's a beautiful time of year, and they find you, there's a certain amount of peace that comes with that. Van Nuys is a lot of stucco. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just maybe the audience doesn't understand what Dill's throwing down. If you kill yourself on a ranch that you own in Thousand Oaks, we might suspect your life was so complicated you were bothered by your own thoughts and success. If you blow your head off in Van Nuys, we think it's because you ran out of money.
Well, let's put it this way. If you blow your head off at some beautiful ranch in Montana, I'm going to go back to Montana. What do they call them? The first responders. They'll get there. They'll go, oh my God. If you blow your head off in Van Nuys, first responders get there and they go, well, obviously, it's completely different.
Completely.
All right. So we pack the bag up after a lot of really fun and boring stuff. Marina and Nick are on the fritz again, like we mentioned, and we get ready for tropical night. Now, Marina heads into the galley and tells Tsarina, Tsarina tells her, good job, second stew. That's what she tells her. She says, good job, second stew. And Jason overhears it. And he says that this is something that you would want to run up the flagpole in any work environment.
Okay. Well, I think that's because she knew you'd say, yes, Captain Hot Pants. Captain Lee running a decathlon would be more likely than you saying no to this. So why bother?
And Captain Lee, decathlons are very difficult. But God damn it, I tried. Well, you didn't make it past the swimming part. Doesn't matter. Who are you to judge somebody off of when they, it's
I miss that guy.
Lee, God. So leek and potato soup with a local twist of saffron is the first dish. It had a lovely construction to it. The oil danced atop the starchy broth, and I thought it was a real smash hit to start the evening.
Is that right?
Next course is a red snapper over a bed of coconut rice with a plantain and local curry carrot puree. If we're going to do these flavors, let's really do these flavors. I hope the puree was concentrated because we did not get a lot of it. It was just a schmear. And if we're going to do plantains, let's really do plantains, right? They were little cubits of almost nothing on the side of the plate. If the star of the show is the red snapper, that's fine, but let's not have so much rice, right? This looked like I was at Hana Grill at the Sherman Oaks Galleria. It was absolutely disgusting. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, it was good. It was good. It was nice. I'm going to say 70 pots.
70 pots.
All right, so we move on to the limbo. Do you really think you could get through under a low limbo?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Because I can see it. I try to get low. I fall back. I put my wrist back. There's damage to the wrist. It's a whole thing. And also, I'm 34 years old. That's pathetic.
Yeah. We also have the internet now.
Yeah.
We have better things to do with our time.
And the limbo is a very, very kind of remedial form of entertainment.
That's what I'm saying. When I was a little kid, my Grammy would tell me when I was bored, she said, go play with rocks. And I would.
Yeah, me too.
I didn't have a computer.
Let me tell you something, though. Rocks are fun as fucking shit. They are. When you're little. All right, so Nick and Marina, she was pissed about the note, but the usual suspects type twist he had with him the entire time. He's a nerd. I'm confused about what these two are. I think it's nothing, but
Nick, hit me up. Where are you and Marina at? There's definitely not going to be a reunion.
yeah, I mean, we'll talk to Bravo, but we got to talk to some more Sea Rats about this season. This season was crazy. So next day, Laura, can you yell it, please?
Next day?
Next day. Can you yell it?
Next day!
Thank you. Lara is still ripshit pissed. But we've got fruit, salmon, crepes with bananas, and chocolate, and a little Benny. Where on the breakfast table do you go?
Crepes.
You're
Crepes first.
Sweet guy in the morning?
You got to, not necessarily. It's just you got to go for the thing that's the least common thing that you would order at a breakfast place. A
Crepe.
lot of breakfast establishments have crepes.
Do you do a smoked salmon at breakfast?
Oh, you know I can't stand seafood.
Well, you eat sushi, though.
On occasion to make my wife happy, but I don't like fish.
Okay. All right, so we got one more charter before Harry and Big Red go gallivanting around the world. And Laura asks the chat if they had, or asked the question if they had the chat about being exclusive. Laura, what kind of fucking question is that? Of course not. You cannot go BFGF based on one charter season. That would be certain doom.
Well, they're already planning traveling the world together. One would say that that's an even more commitment.
I'm not sure. Big Red is starting to have second thoughts. I mean, spoiler alert, we do know that they traveled to Philadelphia together.
She said he looked like a giraffe.
He's a very tall guy. And the people of Philadelphia are very small to the ground, and they're angry, and they're wide, and they throw batteries at Santa Claus. Okay?
Sons of bitches.
All right. So we get to the docking. Harry's got the docking down pretty down pat. And good job, great ropes, great job. The guests depart. They had a great time. They were great guests. And boobies. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Laura is still very upset, and she's about to be a lot more upset because she is awarded
The disco helmet.
the disco helmet.
Yeah. I don't think Jason knew that this was going to be the reaction that he was going to get, but she's not happy.
Here's where I'll give you the meanness from Tsarina. She says, "Oh, congrats! I think you're going to look great in that." Rub her face in it. My God. But Laura heads back to the bunk, and she is inconsolable. She's so upset, and I think that it's because she has tried so hard, not only to make this boat run well, which she has succeeded in, but to also bring Tsarina, a.k.a. Weird Barbie, to heel. And she's received a lot of pushback, and now it looks like Jason is seeing what's going on, and she's kind of having a bit of a psychic spiral. Now, it's sad. I don't think it makes for that great a TV, but listen, so far this season's been magnificent. Get in the comments. Let us know. What do you want them to let us know?
Oof. Was us discussing that whole little person blowing his brains out in Van Nuys, was that too sad?
Yeah.
Let us know. Did we go too far?
Yeah, let us know.
And leave it as a review.
Yeah. Leave it as a review. I wanted to shout this one out because, this is a really, really sweet one. This is a 5-star review from Coco Tate 23, already hooked 5 stars. Listened to Patrick on Kate Casey's show and was instantly entertained. And as a big Below Deck fan, I came right over to the podcast. And within one show, I'm following and just joined their Patreon. That is so sweet. The Summer House recaps are so good. Love the chemistry between Dylan, Pat, and Ruby. Thank you so much, Coco Tate 23. Keep them coming, everybody. We hope you have a great rest of your week. Until next time, I'm Dylan. Oh, patreon.com/another podcast network for traders soon. Let us know what you want us to do. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm Dylan saying goodbye. Pat, say goodbye.
Bye, guys.